Schau mal. Warte mal, drin war Alre kalt. Okay, ja, das habe ich mir schon was gedacht. Der Riot Games Arena in Berlin ist auch immer echt gut gekühlt. So, wir erwarten Poppy. Wir erwarten... Erwarten wir Camille? Weiß ich gar nicht.
No Bard ban. Not yet.
Not yet.
No Bard.
Wir erwarten Camille-Ban, okay. Baum deaktiviert, weil Ulti Visual bugged ist.
Surprised though to see that on first pick. As now we're gonna have a potential trade between Cassiopeia.
Wie seine Prediction? Kann man T1 predikten?
Here with
Also DK ist sehr gut in Form.
available.
T1 durchwachsen, meiner Meinung nach.
Take it away from Carrier, but T1 could just get Vi Cassio right off the bat, and that feels pretty scary. Because you got Bard, and Career's a good Bard player, but it feels like a denial for such a heavy cost here. But there's just so many picks you feel like you have to ban against T1.
Ja, Wein zu Bard ist schon mal ein Fragezeichen.
And then the Camille.
And then you have to take Bard away,
yeah,
too, so you're expending a pick.
It doesn't feel like a strong start with first pick yet.
Gehen die Syndra?
Plus.
Yeah, T1 did a good job of leaving a lot of OP stuff open. I mean, they banned Jason Oriana, which makes sense, but the last ban of Lucian kind of leaves them 2 OPs left over. As he was thinking long and hard about taking the Jarvan, goes for Xinjiao instead. And now Ezreal unbanned in the hands of Smash.
Feels mandatory with the Vi on the other side and the Bard they've already set up. So they end up getting their bottom set up with the jungle. T1 may end up blind picking something for Doran here. And they will do that.
Das ist eine ziemlich starke First Free. Der Ezreal ist aber eigentlich ganz... Also der Ezreal ist sehr geil gegen die T1 Comp, right? Und der Bard eigentlich auch.
They can protect this blind pick for Doran now, which is the game plan at least with this Renekton ban. And for the side of D plus Kia, looking at maybe any other pick.
Kann man Kaiser picken? Yes. Yes, aber nicht blind.
Could be scary, but he's got such a pool, it's hard to ban him out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty difficult to do that. And on the other hand, if you try to
Olaf ban second.
Like do you ban Varus, do you ban
on T1.
Do you ban, you know, ex-champion that you can play. Olaf is another good one.
Caitlyn.
Into Ezreal kannst du spielen, ja.
Choice because
da ist auch der Ban. Ja.
This is something this team loves to play, even without the Bard. And the Kai'Sa has been a classic counter pick to Ezreal. We know what Pays can do with it. The Olaf is a very smart ban.
Kein Seierengel. Corki?
Right now, I would say in the meta.
Entschuldigung, Corki einfach, Sivir eventuell.
So now we find out
Corki,
what this bottom lane is going to look like. Shen to start.
Okay.
Bard, a little bit trickier than a lot of other Shen matchups. Usually see it into engage melee supports like the Camille.
Yeah, it's very true. I mean, Shen in general is pretty strong. As now we're going to get some solo lanes here for the side of D+.
Das ist eine harte Go-In-Comp von T1. Wenn DK da gute Antworten drauf findet. Kann so Cassio Bottom sein? Das könnte Cassio Bottom sein, ja. Anivia-Pick ist gut. Mag die DK-Comp immer mehr gegen die T1-Comp.
Zahin works really well with this draft because you have such a front line with a Xin already. Kled would be very fun. Huh, but I don't think it really makes sense.
Aber Kled ergibt gar keinen Sinn, ja genau. Kled ergibt gar keinen Sinn, die wollen ja nicht reingehen.
I mean, they were not at MSI, but they were watching.
Mag die DK-Comp sehr.
It is going to be Anivia, or Aatrox and Anivia. Not untrue. But now the AD carry here for Pays. And it's just Jhin.
Ich mag die DK-Comp sehr.
I've always been a big fan of Jhin and Bessa with any sort of other engage. And in this case, it's the Vi. So,
Ihr bekommt 2 Minuten.
You know, the Shen is also engaged, right? But it's not the same kind of engage that Jhin often plays with. But you can stabilize in the laning phase. Will be pretty powerful later on. A lot of long range to play through when the Cassiopeia is also trying to set up fights and trying to deter what D plus Gear are doing. I kind of feel like in a weird way that Cassiopeia is the weakest part of this draft for T1 because it's really difficult to actually gain access to Ezreal or the Anivia. And if you're trying to fight into the Aatrox and zone him away, you know, there's just a lot of range and a lot of ways to mess up what Cassiopeia is trying to do here for D+. And at the end of the day, we ended up with a pretty even draft here. I think Cassiopeia is going to scale incredibly well later on. Showmaker's Anivia has been fantastic. The
Early Matchup ist winning für Cassio. Später, je länger das Game geht, desto unangenehmer wird's.
Very volatile. And on the T1 side, I think ease of execution is definitely there. Bard can throw a wrench into some of those gears, but I think for D+, it's a much harder draft to pilot, but they definitely can do it.
Yeah, very important job here for Careers Bard as we do hop onto the Rift for game number 1.
Jimin Rate ist low. Aber ich finde einfach die Antworten, ich finde einfach die Antworten von DK ganz geil. Mal sehen, ob's mattert, right? Aber Nivea super gegen die Comp. Aatrox ganz nice. Bart ebenso.
That's kind of what, you know, when it wasn't banned, I was.
Und generell finde ich Anivea so insanely OP.
Both incredible at the pick. Showmaker doing a little bit of fakering, perhaps, where you try to use the egg.
Ja, beide mit Laser 50 Skin, ja.
Cassiopeia, if
definitiv.
after level 1, can be a bit dangerous because Cassiopeia has so much DPS.
He went for Deathfire Touch, so not looking for the bursty electrocute trades we often see with this pick, but just for sustained damage, which makes that type of trading kind of necessary at level 1 into the Cassiopeia, but it's not easy as the Anivia playing around that egg, and now his turret. The Shiu here on the top side. A pick he's gone to a few times with mixed results. Profane Hydra Aatrox was pretty crazy back in the day.
Yeah.
Around his debut. Bit of a different time we're living in now.
So, was wird in meiner Mitte?
Specifically,
seit 2 Tagen. 3 Tagen? 2 Tagen?
I hated it very soon after.
The lethality Aatrox, but also you're unkillable and do a bajillion damage. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Aatrox right now. There were so many options he could have gone for. I think the Olaf ban was a really good.
Grace ist problematisch gegen Range.
Olaf could have just ran through
Auch wenn er im Early Game relativ stark sein kann, wenn du in Waves richtig spielst.
Miasma, the Mai, and Olaf is very strong nowadays.
Double no-base jungle.
It's a good ban from T1, and that's what you gain from being able to grab up your soul lanes early and protect them. It's always a question of almost chicken and egg, like which you'd prefer. Would you rather protect your soul lanes or get counterpick, as D+ get counterpick, but in a limited pool of champions, don't have access to the best ones. Showmaker's 2-0 on this Anivia, like I mentioned before, one of his best. Surprised to see Smash at 1-2 on this pick, but it just hasn't been played that much this year until very recently, where it's been taken over. And D+ weren't winning every game until recently. Good trade in the lane for T1 just moments ago, as we do have Vi coming over here a little bit faster than Lucid is here to help.
Oh, that's the root on the career. And yes, he is.
Sind sie auch spotted.
Fine, but take a look at
Das heißt, jetzt kann der Shen mitlaufen und die können eventuell Double Crab schauen.
Also Lucid with that trade has to leave. And now the pullback on a Doran. Siu just looking for the solo kill. Doran holding on to his flash for a very long time. And it will be enough to barely.
Das Healing von Cookie, oder? Hat er einen Cookie? Müsste Cookie gehabt haben.
So calculated on that. I thought for sure he was going to die to that last auto, but he waits and holds the flash, is able to prevent the next one.
So morgen JDK hier.
As a result, Shiu have the buttons to kill him. We'll have a nice advantage here on the top side of the map now.
Uhrzeit? Ja, mach ich.
And Shiu can look
ja, mach ich.
You would like to. You're going pretty well for Faker, as you could see.
Yeah, that's the thing about Cassiopeia. She doesn't lose.
Kurz Warmox, ja, ohne Spaß. Dieser Biscuit proc auf Low HP ist so dumm.
Okay, I will take over everything. I have Deathfire Touch, and I could be very
aggressive. War schon LP, ja, hab ich eine Series geschaut.
Like Vi, and I just get to do whatever I want. So it's kind of in the hands of Faker.
Reminiscent of Azir in a lot of ways, like win a lot of lanes, very stable, scale really well, have it engage. Doesn't have the added safety that Azir has, doesn't have a dash, but otherwise, right now in this meta, it kind of feels like it's serving Azir's role in a lot of ways, just with it doing so much. And with the builds that you go on Cassiopeia, you're difficult to punish it's going to take, a flash grab early from the jungler in the early game, as we do have a taunt here from Keria.
Yeah, Career trying to go up against the wall, and it's a fourth shot for first blood. Tons of damage into Career, who had his flash, but, didn't calculate that he had to flash to the alcove to try to get away with the magical journey to avoid the DPS.
Right. Well, that's a big win here for T1. First blood goes over. 2 pays. He has a 700 gold lead already. Smash survives, so we'll still be here to farm a little bit, but...
Raum, danke für den 6
Keria initially sets this up onto Career.
Das ist einfach 100 to 0, das ist auch verrückt, oder?
Third one,
To be honest.
and hits the fourth in Magical Journey. Keria follows to get around here on the Smash, which then forces him back.
Cassio ist early gut gegen Anivia. Matchup wird später, ist besser von Anivia.
Could have been even worse for the bottom duo here at D+.
I think we saw it in our first series and also here, just a little bit of underestimating the DPS of the Shen is something that has gotten a bunch of our supports in trouble. Where
Lahin's taught so many.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need items.
Okay, der Ezreal ist auch nicht der Bart, ist geiler für den Ezreal, wenn er in One-on-One-Situationen reingeht. Auf Supports ist Heal eigentlich ganz geil, weil der teilweise auch Heal und Shield Power geht, ist einfach leichter zu nutzen.
Even if he did, just gets chopped down.
Vor allem, wenn Supports beide Roam Exhaust zu haben, ist sehr OP. Sehr, sehr OP.
Always going to be winning, especially at 6. And it looks like even post 6. And top lane's pretty even. So at the end of the day, T1 are winning this early game.
Lucid's coming over for a contest here, but I don't think Smash can get out.
Upgrade 2, by the way, für Lucid.
Now the flash comes in. Nice block here.
Ja, und er hält Level 6.
Gets in.
Er hält nicht Level 6. Oh.
Now he's in a bit of a rough spot. Does live for quite a long time and enables Smash to get the kill with a flash away. And now Smash looking for that.
Wow.
He's not going to get it. And now the curtains open.
Okay.
Career is flashing away and barely gets out of range. Showmaker, very nice dodge for the flash over from Faker. Looks for the egg and he will pick it up, and this will definitely be a kill. Unless he runs out of mana. It's actually kind of close as one auto and one tick. And Faker picks up the kill. T1 are smashing this early game.
So much damage on the Cassiopeia.
Ich dachte, dass Lute 6 hittet. Hab nicht auf XP geachtet.
Faker's not under turret while he wails on you. And it's a scrambled egg on top of the pick. And that fight was so close to being like winning for D+, right? I mean, they end up getting the steal. And Smash
game is just rough out.
To the pit as well. As a setup here for T1 is Keria trying to look for the engage here. And they pull off of the dragon, but in the interim, I mean, Smash gets to get in here. They get the steal, and Lucid lives long enough here. Smash can layer some damage in onto Owner, but Owner gets out. And then Smash, there's just too much DPS here to take him out, and Showmaker can't get over there to help heal for him. Career has to flash, and Showmaker's not happy about it because now he's slowed and also flashes the stun. And Showmaker gets under turret, but Faker's not in turret range.
Yeah, and it's an easy kill for the Cassiopeia at that point in time. Swifty's picked up by Faker. This is going to be looking to avoid as much damage from the Anivia as possible by just dodging everything. And yeah, I mean, you got your Cassio ahead. Pays is now 2-0-2, 1,200 gold ahead of Smash. And I mean, Kia definitely a lot of confidence to try to go in for that play. They nearly pull it off, but the second that they don't, it's just very risky. You lose so much, and you give so much over to T1.
And honestly, with T1's comp, if they gave up first dragon, it wouldn't even be a big deal.
Yeah.
So the fact that D+ end up getting this dragon at such a heavy cost of the fight commitment is just so horrible for them. This early game really couldn't be much worse. So now T1 are looking to fight for grubs here. Lucid going back in again.
They are just fighting for everything as they're throwing everything into the Xin Zhao. Lucid is going to live for quite a while, but eventually does go down. It's now over the wall. Nice gaze there from the side of Faker. Picks up a double kill as now we got a 3-0 Cassiopeia. So much for the best team in the world.
Okay, aber was machen die?
Faker's 4-0.
I think the streak of games for D+ might be at an end.
Kurze Frage.
With this one. It's a 4,000 gold lead at 9 minutes as Pays is pushing Smash out of the lane.
He hit the first one. Third one. Fourth shot. Barely gonna sail wide.
But he's still pushed away.
Yeah.
You know, it's a small win. The Ezreal survives there. And we'll be able to get
was machen die da?
But oh! Hayes walks up and shoots him in the face!
He just flashed fourth shot at him, and Smash just I don't know what it is. Like, this is T1. You got to respect this team, guys. Like, you can't play like wild animals. I don't know what's going on with D+.
Well, I don't know if there's any way back in this one now. As Lucid will find Carry, and I don't know if he really likes it because Owner's coming over. He's got a blast cone, though. Or does he? No, he does not.
Very nice deny from Feria, but unfortunately that gets him out of range. And now they're pretty deep in the jungle, actually. As Ingo's Career looking for the stun. He's not going to get it with the binding, but now the lockdown on a 2. T+Kia looking for the follow-up here. Down 4,000 gold, and it doesn't look like they have the follow-up. With Faker as strong as he is in mid.
D+ taking every risk in this game. Ooh. I want a little bit less commitment, but still a high-value potential play there. Taking all the risks, and this time it almost pays off. Not this time, unfortunately. This one wasn't really close at all. As Showmaker just walks up here as Lucid goes in with a Crescent Guard. Walls off Faker, but not really. Faker avoids the stun, and then watch this turn. Showmaker just nothing he can really do. Gets stunned.
Tschüss, Mandy.
Fine gaze. Doran's ult not even necessary there. And now Pays here sees an opportunity to try to ult Smash out. Because he hits those shots, Smash gets super low. And I was saying, well, he's back. He can't go back to the lane. It's doomed. So yes, he survives, but he can't go back. But Smash, with Lucid coming over, says, yes, I can. Pays hot.
Ah, Flash-Filter.
Gets Tri-Brush vision and flashes the wall. So I guess in Smash is
Actually, Genji war den Fiesta, ja.
Sneaky play from Pays off screen there, but he still dies.
Yeah, I think it's a good read from Pays. You know, Career hasn't been bought all too often, so maybe he says, you know, there's probably not a Warden here. Or at least he says, if there isn't a Warden here, there's a free kill for me if Smash is going to greed for the wave, which he did. And a nice play from Pays sets him up for his 3rd kill. And it just feels like all the carries are getting fed on the side of T1. Outside of course, our top laners, who are just kind of Yumi emoting themselves while having their own game of League of Legends. And yeah, DK got the first Drake, but the second one goes to T1, and it's Hextech Soul, which is huge for both sides.
We have seen some pretty big throws across Rise and Legend. But I don't know if there's one big enough for the game state that D+ find themselves in here. They're going to try to punish Pays. He does not have Flash.
Oh, but he can dodge. Utilizes the walk strategy. Nicely done by him. If he gets hit by that with no Flash, I think he just dies as he is alone. Meanwhile, in top lane, Faker considering it, but pings do come down as they do know he's there. Do they know about Owner, though? As we're looking for just a straight-up dive underneath the turret, just going to tank it up is Owner. Miasma comes down, ult is there as well. Owner
Oh, Doran ist auch noch tot, oder?
flashed away, but I think he was all
Dachte, Doran ist auch noch tot.
that last shot.
Yeah. Shu had turned his attention to Doran as he knew that shot was in the air. As he does end up dying here. Can they get a desync on the backs? Just barely not. Doran's going to actually commit a TP for safety here, knowing how close those members are. Pays is 2 levels up.
He's got a Shen with him. He's like, oh, he did.
Wall?
Stunned.
Warte, was, an India oder was?
Showmaker there.
I guess he must have, yeah. Searching for Smash. 3rd shot, 4th shot is going to hit. And again, you don't have to kill him, but if you get him low enough, maybe you do what you did last time.
Yeah, Pays doesn't have the flash to make that happen a second time, but effectively, Smash losing a lot of that farm. 30 CS down now, 2 levels down. We'll make it 1 in just a second at the end of that wave. Actually, not quite able to, but effectively, right? I mean, we're looking at a bar of experience in the lead here for Pays. And this game is so easy to play out now for T1. Like, they have all the control. They're accelerated. As this initially was played really well by Shio, right? Waits the last possible second till Doran's used all of his abilities, gets an amazing trade, gets all that lifesteal back, and still has his flash for the defense. Doran takes that extra turret shot too. And when Owner goes through, he just does too much damage. And that last turret shot, he's not able to avoid, tries to flash anyways, as kind of a visceral reaction there, but down he goes. So that's the only good news. That's the only kill for D+ in this game.
Faker hat ja, weil Doran rausgeflasht ist, glaube ich.
It's gonna take a
Oder?
few more of those.
The Shu stripe of 180 gold. And now he's looking for Faker, but Faker's actually baiting this in. Career's here too, though, so it does look like Shu is safe for now. Big group up down on the bottom side of the map.
Könnte irgendwas mit einem 2-0, I mean,
Carry even gonna heal.
maybe in the other way.
I think one of the things that T1 have been so good at across this every variant of this roster, right? Since Danny left.
Ich glaube, es gibt echt wenig LCK-Caster, die mehr T1 bei sind als dieser Wolf, by the way. Das ist insane. No joke.
Known for when behind, Faker gets caught, air quotes, but then you lose the entire enemy team, or the entire enemy team gets wiped because you
Ich schwöre, das ist krank.
misunderstood how many members of the map you had and where they were. And so when you're ahead like this as T1, Faker can push hard, Pays can do what he wants. In fact, might even look for a potential play here onto Showmaker right now with the mid control he had. He doesn't fully commit. But my point with all of this is that how do you find a punish with this draft?
Valdez und Wolf.
Bard, Ultimate.
Beides Fanboys und das ist und die Caster zusammen, das ist
It
krank.
takes so long to get the follow-up that it gives T1 even more time. They've got a Jhin who's in the mid lane and has mid prio, can impact either side lane pretty quickly because he's just so long range with his ultimate.
Das ist immer, also Wolf finde ich ganz schlimm.
Just means that she can lock someone down
Actually insane.
so long in any potential play that D+ try to make, and it's really only the Aatrox that's a threat right now. At 4 D+, you're just hoping for a late game Ezreal, maybe some Anivia catches in a team fight, or that T1 get greedy and mess something up.
Yeah.
But I just don't think that's likely. Showmaker.
Speaking of getting greedy and messing something up, it looks like it's going to be Showmaker to be the first one to do that. You see that Lucid was going top, and then he went away from top because he's like, yeah, you're dead. Nothing I can do. Even a TP committed to.
So they made this happen, T1, while having control everywhere else at the same time. So there isn't really a cross map. I mean, there's a Shen holding bottom, so that's not ideal. But she wasn't really able to get all that much done here either. Scary is trying to taunt him under turret. Maybe Pays is caught. No, again!
Oh, even the flash gets responded to. It's still a good trade for Career to get Pays' flash, but Pays just feels unkillable. Like, he's just dodging everything. It's so annoying.
He doesn't build Ghostblade for the damage. He builds it as a counter to the Tempered Fate. And now this Dragon is attempted here by D+. Big rotation over from T1. Doran has TP as well. And they're just going to have to bail out of the area.
Career? Yeah, he was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Already used his magical journey, flashed in mid, and yeah, I mean, he got Pays' flash, but also he died because of it. So now, first Hextech Drake is going to go over to T1, and they're really running away with this one.
I'm going to go back to two things that CV Max said. Okay, I've got two quotes from two different parts of this passage. We're not just a strong team, we're the best on Earth. But also, there will definitely come a time where we stumble and struggle. And in this first game, I think we have reached that time. Career uses Magical Journey early and does not have flash from the additional play he made onto Page.
Super weirdes Game von DK, dieses Game.
Catches him, and he goes
Also wirklich
down.
super weird.
And now not even the Aatrox has a lead here for D+ Kia in this one. They're just broke. 2 items. 4 Smash. It feels like it's just so far away. Nice try.
Yeah. I mean, it is. He's almost got his tiers stacked. So, you know, eventually he does get it. But, again, you know, this Cassiopeia could have been a target, but Faker's going to have 2 items completed himself with the Seraphs. And, yeah, I mean, everybody else is quite strong at the same time.
Smash missed 2 abilities. Pays presses Ghostblade. He's like, if you want to stick around, Smash is going to have to leave, or at least walk away in respect. They do not get the punish here on the Pays either. And Lucid is 0-2-0 in this game.
Noch bei AL damals.
To patch any of the holes.
I mean, DK ist gut in Form, kannst du, also das ist ja objektiv, kann man so mal sagen, die sind sehr gut in Form.
Away. Like Doran has this full turret on lock.
Das Game hier ist ein ganz großes Fragezeichen für mich.
Minions. I mean, you might as well if you want to play.
Ja, das Bounty-Ding ist Bounties, genau.
Correctly. But it's just funny because
it doesn't feel relevant.
They're already so far ahead.
Yeah.
I suppose in the top lane, Doran isn't like massively ahead, so any bit matters. Speaking of which, he's up a level. He's going for the kill onto Shiu, who does have ult and flash. Doesn't elect to use either of them, as Doran doesn't have any kill pressure.
You don't kill the turret, also it means that Xiu kind of has to feel like he needs to go over there to get the minions. Then you kill the turret, you start trading with him, and he doesn't like it, and then you lose half his health bar. And it's just, it's a miserable time.
Okay, first play. Doran.
Because you don't have any control.
Was war der Sinn? Rauspoken. Gibt dir Pressure. Muss nicht, also Ulti usen ist nicht immer zum Töten. Kann auch, guck mal, jetzt muss er basen. Dementsprechend kann Doran jetzt das hier machen. Zum Beispiel.
But it's just these small advantages stacking up after a huge one now for T1 as they're just not making mistakes. They're
Ult benutzen oder Summoners benutzen, um Pressure zu kreieren, ist eine sehr gute Möglichkeit, um Lead zu pushen.
And the only thing left to wait for is Hextech's sole point. And during this whole time, they're chipping away at this mid turret, setting up that vision, not giving D+ any way for Luce to make a flank angle happen. No Showmaker wall angle they didn't expect. No sort of Bard jumping out of a bush and setting up a two-man into Lucid cutting somebody off with a Crescent Guard. Just imagining these scenarios that aren't going to happen in real life that T1 are already prepped for, like this control where that's going to spot the exact path of Xiu, and so Doran can just keep pushing forward. It's all these little things.
At this point in time, I mean, if you look at the items, T1 do have a massive lead, but we got 2 items on Lucid. He's going to be going in. They're looking for Pays as Career ults him and saves him. And here comes the Shen. Carry is just right there to press his R, and it's an easy turnaround for them.
In the imaginary scenario I laid out, it was Tempered Fate, and then the Crescent Guard cuts them off. They did it the other direction, and the Tempered Fate does not, in fact, help them secure the kill there. It gives T1 more time to respond. And now T1 are just going to do Baron practically on spawn. The enemy jungler off the map. It's not a 50-50. It's not a risk. In fact, it's optimal.
He's just going to kill Career, too. Gets on the magical journey, actually, so he barely gets away, but...
Was ein Game, ha?
Baron at 21 minutes. A little T1 Baron action as now.
Snowball hört sich schon sehr toxisch an.
Pays just not really missing these.
Zu Befehl hört sich schon sehr toxisch an.
Smash. And Doran is rotating over to try to catch Xiu, who has his flash. He's just going to back.
Doran doesn't have ult, so he can annoy Xiu, but killing him is probably out of the question. This has been just a big showcasing of how to take a big win in the early game and extend it into such a massive one. As we'll go back to the attempt here from Lucid. Flashes onto Pays. Looks for the Crescent Guard to push Pays away, but Owner gets pushed away instead. And the taunt comes through. And Career's ultimate really doesn't impact the play. Career then, caught by Doran, gets away until Pays, who's on Baron, is like, I'll drop Baron for this, hold on. Got my sniper rifle out. Blue trinket. Goodbye. Yeah. Hit smash right afterwards just to prove a point.
That's something that Career can factor in, by the way. Like, he needs to know that Pays is nearby, that there's a Jhin on the enemy team. He is backing when they still have vision of him, right? Even though the blue trinket came down just to make sure. And it just felt like Career just trying to get a quick back, but it ends up paying the price for it. Level 16 Doran now up against 2, maybe 3, as Career's making his way over. But that is Ambessa trying to dash his way out of the situation as the wall not great.
Oh.
And he
Wow.
taxis in and taxis out. See you later, says Doran.
He added a few dashes to Ambessa's kill on that one, and he's just going to get out. As meanwhile, T1 are taking the whole base. Herald's going to charge into this bottom inhibitor turret, mid turret down. Faker's going to make quick work of that. Faker is 3 levels up on Showmaker, at least briefly here. Is maybe this time they can punish Pays? Maybe this time they can punish Pays?
Well, at least he finally hit him with his Tempered Fate.
They almost got his flash.
Yeah. Faker has flash himself. Is just going to sit here and look to fight, actually, up against 4. Just holding onto his flash, I suppose. And there it goes, as in comes the Shen. And now locked down by everybody. As even Pays trying to shoot down Smash with them in his face. T1 are down members in this fight. Pays goes down, and all of a sudden, a weird wonky...
Ist Shibu da gerade insanely broken gewesen?
Shut down, and a lot of gold is given to DK for free.
Maybe one step forward here for D+ that they desperately needed. As we are going to still continue to fight for red buff here.
Yeah, trying to take down the Xin Zhao as the...
Lucid to anime.
And he's dead. And so Showmaker goes down to his egg. TP comes in, and this is getting weird. At least a couple of kills go back the way of T1.
Can't really come in and fight the way he wanted to. Has his ultimate coming back up, but doesn't have 16. Doran doesn't have ult, but I just don't think this is a fight you want to extend. So, in the T1 circus, often Faker is the ringleader. And what I mean by that is he sets up these plays where it looks like you caught Faker, but then the rest of the team shows up. He gets the Shen ultimate, he flashes over the wall, they got the double taunt, and the ult's coming out from Pace. Like, this is, frankly, a beautiful way to turn this one around for T1. Unfortunately, they're still down numbers. Owner's a little bit too far away. Doran is on the top side of the map but isn't here to help out, so they're just a little bit too split. But at least the core of that play was pretty incredible, but ultimately it ends up giving D+ a small...
Crazy, dass das da contestet oder nicht, den Red Buff.
Washed away here as they continue to try to contest for their red buff. Showmaker will lose his life and his passive on the play.
Yeah. You can see what the idea is there with like the TP coming in, and they're trying to essentially bait the last two members of T1 into a fight. But the issue is Mbessa and Fai love fighting in a Xinjiang because they just don't care about his ultimate, and Lucid barely at the very end cast his ult and immediately died, so it didn't even end up mattering. He just got burst down, and after that they got Showmaker, and one by one the dominoes fell. So whatever step they took forward, they took it back once again after giving up those kills.
D+ haven't lost a game like this in a while. You know, where it's just a complete untouchable enemy. You lost the early game, you got outclassed. In this case, it was at a big team fight early on Dragon, and then a second failed team fight where they just gave T1 too much of an advantage. They basically just sent it. They were like, all right, well, we're behind. Let's try to make something happen. Hail Mary fails. And the rest of this game is with them just playing catch-up. Real question I have now is, what does it look like to bounce back from a tough loss for D+? Because we haven't seen too many recently. And I think for D+ and for CV Max, you got to just say, look, we took a bad Dragon fight. We were super close to winning it. It didn't work out. But if we had won that fight the way we planned, the game might look totally different. It might be T1 on the back foot for this whole game, and we might be just in complete control. So you got to try to like keep all of this part of the game out of your mind, because you're making the best plays you can, but T1 just have way more tools, and they are outplaying you. And
Aber scheint kein Six.
Career that shouldn't happen. Smash getting killed, getting flashed on. Some decisions that were made around red buff that are a little bit too greedy because they're just trying to make desperate plays. But I think you got to delete all of this from your memory after this.
Könntest du bestimmt, also First Item weiß ich nicht.
But for now,
Locket ist schon ziemlich geil. Ich mag auch Nightfall sehr. Ich glaube, Nightfall ist ein bisschen underboard, aber ist eine gute Frage.
There's a famous quote, I forget who actually said it, but it's like some of the best players or pros in any sport have a really short memory.
Brauchen wir die Ulti wirklich zu Jingle kommen? Ich dachte, das ist schon lange Cooldown, right? Also schon extrem lange Cooldown.
Go into game 2 like it's game 1 and essentially just play game by game. And, I mean, D+ are definitely better than what we've seen so far today, so I'm sure they know about it too. As now looking for a play, Smash totally isolated on the top side. The ult's late from Career, and he's just magical journeying for himself. This is a total wash in favor of T1, as they might not even go for the Dragon. Maybe they can just end the game.
A D+ in this team fight looked like one of those bosses in an old video game that has a big glaring red weak point. They found Smash, and they hit him on his back on that red button, and he died. And D+ just fell apart. No setup, no control, nothing in this fight. And Shield will be the last remaining member to try to defend against the onslaught that is T1 here in a 28-minute win. He's going to TP to the turret.
He got a shield, I guess.
I guess so. He's going to try to brawl it out as Aatrox.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do. I think the 9,000 gold worth of money that T1 has ahead of him is more than...
Komische Early Game Fights.
Game 1 was kind of over.
Also beim Drake war's lost, right? Kann man es auf einigen, beim Drake war's lost.
Couple of C's in the mid lane, but doesn't really end up mattering as they're too far ahead, and their comp was very good from that position. So T1 looking good in game number 1.
The horrifying thing, the exact thing I was talking about when I was like, how do you punish T1? That moment is caught right on cap.
Moment. Okay. Perfekt, ein Team hat reingeschaltet. Ey, warum verliert IG? Boah, dieser Bass, ne? Combo hinbekommen. Ende gefried. Wer wird gefried hier? Wow, IG verliert das. Also IG verliert sogar diesen Fight hier. Das ist verrückt. Scheiße, not bad. Hat entweder decent oder gut gespielt. Kein Damage, ne? Sorry, dass Kerl auch da lebt. Wenn ihr den Ulti-Reset von Afire bekommt, sieht das nochmal ganz anders aus. Ja, er spielt, by the way, also dieses Inten, ja, 100%. Der spielt aber sehr viel respektvoller. Ist so meine Wahrnehmung. Oh shit, ist der Collector Third Corky. Ich kotze. NT. Frage ist, ob die kommt irgendwann eine Bank ist, ne? Das ist die große Frage. Jetzt müsste ein NP kommen, genau. Scaling-Frage. Ja, es gibt eigentlich nur 2 Fragezeichen. Kommen wir mit Kaiser zurecht und können die den Varus töten. Problem ist, Varus hat ja schon Seekers, das heißt, diese Nafiri-Oriana-Kombo ist auf jeden Fall weniger effektiv hier. Aha. Ja, Ulten, um die wegzupullen. Rotek hat keine Sonjas. Ja. Wie zur Hölle kommen diese Catches zustande, Mann? Und wobei geht war. Au, der Q-Cancel ist noch ziemlich big gewesen von Goban, to be fair. ADC auf Midwaves ist immer dasselbe, ne? Das stimmt wirklich, ey. Wie zur Hölle ist Helper bei IG gelandet eigentlich? War der bei Anyone's Legend earlier, ne? Dieses Jahr, Anfang des Jahres war der bei AL. Unskilled, danke für den 15. Und dann am ersten Pick gebencht in 2 IG, right? So, ich sehe Double Sonja, Triple Sonjas. Wer wird denn jetzt nach 4 geholtet? Ein IP-Team neu? Nein. Die haben nur Photic neu und Fengyue. Die LP 2.0 in der Lower Group sind Weibo und LNG sind absolut schrecklich. Also wirklich absolut schrecklich. Oh, Free Nash? What? Nash bekommen, Drake gone. Oh, Fengyue. Was hat Blatter gerade gemacht? Das ist auch noch reingeflasht. Was machen die? Corky Damage ist immer noch so geil. Weibo Mental Boom. Also ich weiß nicht, was ich sonst sagen soll. Also das ergibt keinen, also in meinem Kopf ergibt es eigentlich auch keinen Sinn, dass dieser Roster so schlecht ist, ja. Und gegen Soul. Das ist so crazy, dass ich im 5 gegen 4 irgendwie noch die Soul rausbekomme. Ist der Eck da rausholen? Ja, der ist nach dem Jahr aber auch frei, oder nicht? Bei W. Boah, NIP, also da gibt es halt auch nur ein Gas, ne? Eine Bremse ist nicht eingebaut im NIP-Auto. Krank. Die Sache ist, ich glaube, du könntest halt... Guck mal, dieses AL-Roster, wir können das auch opfern. Und dann packen wir Tarzan irgendwo anders Gutes hin. Weißt du? Es muss nicht unbedingt in der Anyone's Legend sein. Wir können auch einfach Tarzan irgendwie retten in ein anderes Team rein. Tarzan zurück, zum Beispiel Tarzan bei JDG. Du holst, ja genau, Tarzan zu JDG und dann holst du dir noch einen anderen Supporter. Und dann musst du hoffen, dass Gala halt in Form ist. Tarzan zur Eintracht. Tarzan bei ESG, SG, ja, Rede. Aber ESG wäre auch krank. Fuck, ich brauche einen Red Bull gleich. Ich brauche viel zu lange zum Einschlafen momentan abends, ey. Das ist so schlimm. Dann fühle ich mich morgens schon so richtig beschissen. Way. Oh mein Gott, Essen. Oh mein Gott, Essen bekommt beide. Oh my days, Bro. Seriously. Die sind gleich schon durch, ja, ich hol gleich. Es wird Zeit. Ja, ich hatte auch Kork getrollt. €1000 für Locke, ja. Kann der Champion aber carryen? Das ist die Frage, ne? Ja, ist ein richtiges Acker-Match. Vor allem gegen Chemtech Soul. Ja, und okay, die Frage, wer wird denn Nafiri ultet? Oder wer wird denn von Nafiri eingegangen? Es ist Gubon. Tatsächlich. Oh, gut. Oh, ist es gut? Warte mal. SM? Nee. Boah. Ey, die machen so einen Damage, ne? Das ist absurde. Das genervt den A4, ne? Und da war es halt so. Da sieht man einfach, dieser Champion ist so OP immer noch. GG. IG gewinnt Game 1.
Right now, it doesn't seem like it.
Yeah, I also really like that you called them grubbies.
So, ich bin ganz kurz meinen Ball wegbringen. Bis gleich.
That's what I wanted to add.
Y'all, the production value going through.
RB hat schon einen Spieler gekauft, oder nicht? Ich
And
glaube, die wollen so 2, 3 Spieler holen.
over D plus Kia. The
Meine
big
ich
question
gelesen
that I
zu
have
haben,
for the casters
aber es weiß bestimmt einer
Did
von euch.
did curse it during the what do or what don't segment earlier in the pre-show yesterday when he did pick D plus to be for real. What did? A little sus. What do you think, Valdez? What do you think, Wolf? As we send it over to the casters for game number 2.
Thank you very much, guys. My personal opinion, I don't know about Wolf, is that what did is he's very sneaky. You know, this is the kind of guy he is. He really wants to make sure things happen according to his plan. And of course, it was a planned curse. Absolute 100%. Not a doubt in my mind.
I kind of just think it goes back to the early plays that were telestrated and explained there. I think it was about T1 getting good punishes of D+ with some haphazard choices that were made. Not to say that I don't believe in curses, but I really don't think what did had a whole lot to do with what happened in this one. I know that's an out there take, but one that probably Chronicler enjoys, especially considering he knows that D+ are in the struggle zone right now, which is where Chronicler has spent most of his time trying to watch them succeed. And heading into the second game, it's all about that mental reset we were talking a lot about through the remnants of that game 1. You said it. The game was over for about 20 minutes, but T1 just didn't give any quarter. They didn't make any mistakes. They kept being oppressive. And as we move into a reset here for draft, the choices that D+ make here are going to define what the second game is going to look like in terms of what's Showmaker playing. Will they have picks that will have the agency to be able to control early fights? Or will they have to be, again, like we saw in game 1, trying to find desperate plays to get their way into the game? Because that's not really the D+ that we have been watching over these last few weeks, where we have started to believe that this team is legit, this team is the real deal. They were not in game 1, and in game 2, they will opt for first pick.
Yeah, probably a good idea. I mean, there's still a lot of OP stuff left available and a lot of things you kind of have to ban against both sides.
They
So
freed up a Bard ban.
yeah, I think that's actually very valuable. It was definitely going to be picked if you weren't banning it, that's for sure. So didn't end up being too spicy, though, from that far behind. Going to go ahead and ban probably Nocturne, Poppy, Camille again, unless they want to grab Camille for career.
They're on the same side, same first pick. Camille will be banned by T1 this time. so that makes the decision to ban it irrelevant. So they have an extra ban this time around. Orianna will be banned by T1. There's no Vi, obviously, to focus on either. No Cassiopeia, no Ezreal. And the Bard we mentioned already, so have a unique spot here. We'll see what they decide to take away. As Jarvan could be potentially what you want to take away, considering you're not necessarily going to first pick it here. Time ticking down. Akali. That's a safe ban in general, just against one of our best performing, if not the best performing Akali player of the split. In
Hey, did you see
the
Closer
right
the other
there.
day? Some pop-offs.
Yeah.
I think Lee Sin's a good ban. It's very good for both players. So if you don't have first pick, definitely something. If you've got a little extra room, you can ban away. And
I don't think it's a first pick Jarvan angle, but also it's not an obvious first pick in general. The Jarvan is the highest tier jungler left up. See what the response is going to be for T1, because they could just lock a strong bottom lane here. Or get whatever Faker's mid pick is in the counter pick jungle.
Dace was first banned by T1 in game 1, and now it's just wide open if they want to pick it. Olaf is still up, though, and Lucian as well. So Lucian,
This is what,
Milio.
you know, you can often go just slam the Lucian. Did not expect the Shyvana. If that is in fact locked in, it did not do the animation, so not 100% certain about that. I'm going to guess that it's a visual API bug, and we'll get the confirmation in just a moment since the time is still ticking. Will be the Jace that you mentioned instead, which makes a lot more sense. There's no Kanavi playing today. As the Caitlyn response here from Smash. And remember, Smash is an ex-T1 player, played behind Gumayushi, who has one of the most iconic Caitlyn's across League of Legends history.
Oh,
they'll take the Caitlyn Lux right away from them. And they were not allowed to play last game with the Caitlyn ban from D+.
Yeah, playing this into T1 is almost like sacrilegious. But sure, go ahead, you do you. I mean, they know it's going to be Lucian Milio. I suppose you could go something like Lucian Ami, Lucian Braum, but I think the Milio would probably be...
The Milio is probably just still the best way, because you can flash a binding. You can actually look for more aggressive trades if you have the Milio. That all those other picks you mentioned just kind of don't work into this combo. Can't get access on the Braum, for example. Level 1 Braum, I was talking about a little bit yesterday, but with how League of Legends has changed, it just isn't as relevant as it used to be since we go straight to lane.
Yeah, in Classic, they were like invading each other all the time. They had so much time. It was crazy.
I missed it. I've been enjoying Classic a lot.
Yeah.
But it's a faster game now. The Olaf is still available.
Yeah.
I think they will ban it with the Yorick as the two main potential counter picks here for Shu to pick up into this Jace. As Twisted Fate is taken away from Faker, they really do like to augment these Lucian lanes with a set of CC from the mid lane, whether that's Twisted Fate or something else. So that's gone now. Do they think they have an answer to Olaf? Because the other pick I was thinking about was Rumble, because they have the Jarvan. And even the Lux can help empower a Rumble if the binding hits a prio target. The Equalizer just gets dropped on top.
Yeah.
You know, you're just stuck in it for so long.
Yeah, I think the ult synergy and range that they have with Rumble with these three would have been very nice. So, don't mind that ban at all.
Pantheon's also a great choice with the Lucian. There's so much burst. The 3v3 is so powerful. Lux is so squishy. As I don't think there's any way you could pick Olaf for Dorn and put Jace mid or anything like that. I think that one, if Siu wants it, he's going to get it. So the question now becomes, what does Faker want to blind here? It'll be the Rise. So no Rise Panther, but he still gets his hands on one of his best and one of the more iconic picks here across weeks 10 and 11, especially in Game 2.
Also, Cassiopeia and Anivia are gone. They're fearless banned, so kind of funny that that wasn't banned away, but I'm sure Showmaker's gotten something prepared into this. Could go something like a Victor. Syndra also up there in terms of picks. Tons of pick potential, by the way, with Lux and Syndra, so that is going to be the choice.
Yeah. Gotta just have good synergy between mid and support. The Olaf feels pretty predictable, does come through. There's no way to stop this guy from closing the gap. You see that win rate sitting up at 80%, something similar in Kespa Cup right now. It is just the most prolific, sudden, extreme relevant top pick. And we've seen Doran actually have a ton of success on it himself, so he's very familiar with its power levels. Now we're looking for what Owner's going to play here in this draft. Don't try it.
Kiana?
Not in this region.
Oh, Sejuani.
Not in this region.
What the
also,
fuck is this for a draft?
Remember when this was picked like
21.
every single game?
Yeah.
Sedge, Maokai.
Was
Maokai,
this?
Sedge next game. Before Fearless, of course. Yeah. I mean,
What the
every
fuck is
jungler
this?
In the LCK can play
If I
this
had
at
to
top level.
explain permafrost synergy one more time. The thing about Yone Sejuani is that you can stack the permafrost.
Also in keiner Welt, oder nicht?
Melee.
Occasionally,
You know, it's like,
occasionally you get that Rakan. You know, they changed Rakan in the bottom lane. It actually stacks
Für Shadow.
permafrost now.
Yeah.
Also das Game darfst du nicht verlieren als der DK IMO.
They have
wow.
Jace melee form.
It is very good with Lucian because you can, you know, set up.
Das darfst du meiner Meinung nach nicht
so
verlieren.
incredibly quickly if they get caught by that. And because they took the Twisted Fade away, it's a lot tougher to get that burst set up. Sure, Ryze can root somebody, but you know he puts himself in harm's way to do so. But the Sejuani does offer a nice extra front line in this draft that was kind of sorely lacking that. I'm not necessarily.
So, ich habe kein Sudachi-Line mehr, dafür gibt es noch die alte Winteredition.
Top side here, and the bottom lane.
Lucian Mio kann übernehmen, ja, aber deren Lane-Matchup ist halt bad.
What can he get done? What could he do to set?
Deren Lane-Matchup ist schlecht.
Be a huge part of this early game here for D+.
This is a big game number 2. Let's see how it all shakes out as we hop onto the rift.
Abfahrts. Bei dem Midlaner Bot.
All right, game number 2 on the cards. Here come the mid laners to the bottom lane.
Oh, die haben gesehen, ne?
Someone,
Ja.
it's Faker, and Showmaker was here as well. So could have been 3v3 and
Ja, die habe ich auch hier.
all too much.
Wow.
Die habe ich auch hier, die neue Glitch-Eis.
A lot of control here. Thought for a moment maybe they try to set a trap and have a 2v2 on Raptors into this Ryze, but I think it's probably best to just head back. And in fact, Owner will get the Raptors start first, which is a little bit delayed.
They're going to play with all this range. Got to get started early, but Smash has already taken so much damage from the double taps of Pays.
Ein Red Bull-Partner.
If you're Lucian Ilya, you got to get in there and
Die Teste steht bei mir noch im Kühlschrank. Also ich hatte bisher nur das mit Zucker und das mit Zucker. Also ich mag allgemein keine Zuckergetränke.
Relentless pursuit to be able
War
to
fein.
back up and get that double tap.
Gerne, wenn du Sugar-Free hast, sagen,
15 seconds left on it. So in
wie
these
du's
small
findest.
trades, Smash is basically going to trade a little bit of extra burst to hope to get the sustained damage, but Pays is playing so back so respectfully here that the punish just isn't necessarily going to come through. So that's a big shot there from Smash this time.
ghosting in.
Was?
And Faker says, I have the damage. I've calculated it miles ahead of time. As the Q comes in from Showmaker, he has to flash away.
Holy shit.
And Faker holds on to his own.
Faker doesn't have TP and Showmaker does, so yes, he's down.
Wie machen wir's?
A few ways.
Oh, danke für den 33. Großer Gott.
So level 3 gank and bot.
Spitzt sie auch zuckerfrei, schmeckt die? Oh mein Gott, der ist... Oh, ich krieg's Level Up. Junge.
On the wave. He
Ey, ist mein Lieblingsgetränk, ja. Also, mein absolutes Lieblingsgetränk, Spitz-Syria.
That's crazy.
It's like the comet
He has
is
to stay, by the way.
comet is in the air.
Vor allem, ich glaube, wenn ich Spitze mit Zucker trinken würde, wow.
Okay, all right.
Wow. Ich hätte legit Hardcore-Diabetes.
Pull out the hashtag for these. The hashtag things Faker does.
Yeah. I thought you were going to talk about like loudest champions in the game because Sejuani is kind of up there
Oh,
after what I just heard.
yeah.
Maybe some
Heute wieder 6.
Look at that
Kinda-
Lucid
kinda
win rate, by the
robotic.
way.
Wir haben noch keine angefangen heute.
10 and 2 on the Jarvan.
Yeah.
So this is from Faker.
Mit Zucker ist mir einfach zu süß.
Faker.
Wow. Ich finde dieses,
He came level 3. That's what he said. Smash.
wie Smash tot.
Smash is dead. What happened?
Wie
to
passiert
Smash?
das?
We don't know. But we got to hear what Showmaker said. As that is
Ich finde
a double kill.
dieses zuckrige Gefühl auf der Zunge einfach so eklig. Wie zur Hölle stemmt die 2v2 in dem Matchup?
Hayes has his flash on cooldown. Let's see. A flash and a binding. Dash forward.
Check ich nicht.
Just a follow flash. Just gets the better trade here.
Horrible.
His passive. Pax is prosive. Gets the double. And yeah. I'm curious to see what Showmaker had to say about that.
Frage ist, wo kommt die treue Sau her?
It's definitely very tilting. I think Smash, you have to understand what Lucian can do. It's a good play from Pays, but like, you know,
What the fuck?
you get hit by the Q, you get hit by 2 autos, you're probably getting in kill range very soon. And we did see that.
Geh schneller. Ich bin bei Woche 5 jetzt und ich habe keinen Bock mehr. Aber geplant sind, also ich plane 12 Wochen insgesamt, also noch 8.
Setting Pays up there, and he needs the follow-up from Smash.
Wow, 7,5, I guess.
But he does get a catch. Faker is flashless still, but he's so close to his turret.
Im Mehrfinale war es der Gianni und der P. Ja, ich meine, da war der Champion auch. Also, man mit der hat auch nur Milis gespielt, das war andere
Tried to come in
Meter.
and help, but instead he's just farming it out. As the blue buff is ready for the taking for Lucid.
Seit 29 Wochen.
It's another one of those games where
Aber ist es gut auch wieder aufzufüllen teilweise oder ist es so Cap?
Career's gonna get dashed on. Owner's gonna be seen by this ward.
Sieht auch schon schmaler aus, ne? Wenn ich schmaler aussehe, ich will besser aussehen.
Play here.
Schmaler ist nicht gut.
Control the wave now. And this Caitlyn lane is not working out.
Yeah, the Sheen versus the Doran's Bow Longsword, which Pays also has. Pays is ahead a Sheen.
Und ich glaube, ich weiß, du hast nicht aggressiv gekartet, ne? Bei mir ist er schon sehr aggressiv.
Hasn't really made a pass at this one. Did come over.
Deswegen weiß ich nicht, ob es
Got pushed away. Faker's
länger als 12 Wochen, ob das sinnvoll ist.
So, he's out-farmed the Sejuani. I don't know how much that's necessarily going to
Ja, okay, spannender Interview ist aber auch wirklich, also... Ein Golem, da, ich will eigentlich schon so um die 100 Kilo Raum bleiben. To be fair. Aber es ist ja halt immer die Frage, wie die 100 Kilo aussehen, ne?
No, he just said level 5. I was gonna say, because we were getting the zoom in, we were like, is Pays gonna cast his ult? Doesn't need his ult.
Mal große Bullcard von der checke. Wie viel Kilokalorien am Tag?
Oh,
1.
the trap.
Sagen wir mal 1,6.
Not gonna set anything up here.
1,5 bis 1,6.
The other way around, but
We got Owner. In the bottom lane, we got Faker on the way.
he's got Realm Orb.
What are they gonna do about this? There's no TP on Showmaker. The stop, the cancel on the back. And Faker goes back to mid though, so...
Ja, auf ca. 2, ja genau. Also bei mir ist das sehr aggressiv, deswegen, ich glaube, länger als 12 Wochen mache ich nicht.
Had enough time to react. I think he probably wouldn't be able to stop.
Career just...
Machen 12 Wochen und dann gucken wir mal, dann ist Oktober. Warum ist Smash schon wieder tot, Junge? Was macht DK, ey?
To be fair, if Career's there, probably he dies too, and you see that Smash holds on to his barrier, so...
Was macht DK, Bro?
Damned if you do...
Also, nee, Entschuldigung. Was machen Smash und Career?
Valdez, I thought today was gonna be epic. I thought today was gonna be a 6 series, a lot of back and forth.
I thought D plus Q were the best team in the world. I've
Well,
been
on
lied to.
Earth.
Yeah. Doran's dead, so that's
Okay.
one thing. As
Ah, okay.
it's not okay, the Undertow barely gets the kill, but he does go down as well. And Doran doesn't even use his Ignite.
There will definitely come a time.
Ja, also wie gesagt, immer 12 Wochen, dann ist Ende September, Anfang Oktober. Und dann schauen wir mal, dann so 1 Monat, 2 Monate mal auf 2,5 wieder hoch.
Not just a strong team, we're the best team on Earth.
Und dann mal schauen, wie wir es machen. Ab da.
Lucid, no flash,
pressure,
but not
guys.
Cataclysm.
No
But
pressure.
Sejuani's here.
Nein, ohne Spaß, was machen die?
Almost dead. And you see that at least the Flag and Drag is going to keep him up against the
Okay.
binding, and that will be a kill as he is locked down basically forever. And Pays didn't have any way to get out of that one.
Best gank on Earth.
Mein 65, 1,8 kann kein so krasser Cut, ja, checke.
Owner doesn't have level 6 because he's been out-farmed by Lucid. Lucid has a really huge experience lead. If Owner had his ultimate there, probably would have been able to get one back. But instead it is just going to be a pick there. And a really critical one. It itself is not alone enough to get D+ back into this game, but it is a very...
Ja, ich esse jeden Tag dasselbe, ne? Das kurz vorab, Red. Wenn ihr nicht super regelmäßig killt, ich esse jeden Tag dasselbe und das sind jeden Tag 220 Gramm Eiweiß.
Shiu just canceled.
220 oder 240, je nachdem, ob ich noch ein Ding dazu esse.
Got a little bit janky for a second there, but anyway.
Und es sind
Exactly what Lucid was counting on, pretty far away from the turret.
so 80 Gramm Carbs und 30 Gramm Fett.
Smash is able to line it up there.
Yeah.
Das ist jeden Tag dasselbe.
Always dropping traps. I've watched other Caitlyn pros with Dagon, and he was very not happy when they were not.
Heute gibt's Hühnchen.
Because Smash lays down the trap. Pays eventually runs out of room and just kind of has to step on one, and the second he does, he's just dead.
Führt so eigentlich auf Konzentrationsproblem, ja, aber lieber, guck mal, dieser ist lieber, unfassbar nervig, aber die meinen DK damit, by the way. Die meinen DK, das ist halt die Propaganda gerade, weil die halt IBC gewonnen haben und jetzt gegen Hanwha und so gewonnen haben. Ja, lieber jetzt einmal da aggressiv und dann. Nicht irgendwie so ein halbes Jahr oder so weiter, halt leichtes Defizit, da habe ich gar keinen Bock.
Definitely better than it was moments ago. CS is evened up. Still 3 kills to Pays means he's very far ahead and is much closer to his Essence Reaver. He's gonna ult.
Here's the angle. He's going to get a lot of damage into Career. Double tap. Forces the flash away. And just like that.
Wie kann man auf Botlane so geknallt werden?
They have so much setup potential if they can hit their abilities. But if you use a bunch and you miss a bunch, Lucian just takes over.
Really powerful moment there. Gets the flash out of Career. And otherwise, just, you know, as a result, we'll be able to push this wave and get a free back. Small moments like that mean that next time Career is in an uncomfortable spot or has an angle where he could maybe look for a flash follow-up with a root. He's just not in range to do so. Essence Reaver is done.
Milli OP, 100% agree.
But now it's the hardest. Now it is the worst.
180 reichen noch locker. Ja, reichen bestimmt, aber es, also ich weiß jetzt nicht, wo ich einsparen sollte. Right, also die Double-Portion Porridge mit einem Scoop Whey nehme ich schon nur. Nicht mehr mit 2 Scoops Whey. Und dann mittags, je nachdem, wenn ich richtig Hunger habe, esse ich oder trinke ich ein Eis Coffee mit einem Scoop, Mandelmilch. Und dann abends halt, was davon cuttest du, was Eiweiß hat, cutte ich das Fleisch? Nee. Oder cutte ich den Skür. Das ist halt beides das Volumen, ne, was ich ja auch brauche. Sonst habe ich wirklich Hunger die ganze Zeit. Also ich habe jetzt schon Hunger die ganze Zeit, aber dann wird's schlimm.
Might not be ideal. Remember what happened last Dragon? Dragon 1, not the greatest, but they are going to look for a potential outsmite here.
Yeah, Hunter smites the Scuttle Crab. Looks like he's got a second one on the way. And yeah, you got to be so careful with the culling available. Pays can just poke you out before the fight even begins.
He's got flash, so punishing him is pretty out of the question. If he could just buy space to do one more double tap, sometimes that is just what does anybody in, including the Jarvan. As they are going to now control the space around the Dragon. Shield looking for an ult.
Yeah, and he's looking for the kill. One more Undertow would do it.
Wow. Wow.
The kill. Meanwhile, on bot, looks like Lucid went in.
Kann mir nur erklären, wie die so geknallt werden, da auf Botlane, by the way, im 4 gegen 4.
That Dragon should absolutely be the side of T1, especially with Showmaker leaving.
Yep, no smite, so no way to contest. Not even worth trying to fight your way back into this one anymore.
They're just standing next to the Lucian. Not showing enough respect to the 4-kill Lucian right now with Essence Reaver.
So Doran has already shown us that you can be like 5,000 gold behind in a game like this. And then
Das Ding ist, Olaf kann auch sehr OP sein. Aber Lucian, die gefeedet sind, ist schon nasty.
He may now have to be shown that by Shield.
That's flash up, by the way.
Him down and get that max range Undertow to connect. As he goes in here and gets interrupted by Owner, and the follow-up is immaculate. Keria gets the kick.
Yeah.
And Faker is already here.
It's those interactions that even guys like Lucian, or Lucid rather, probably might have just slipped his mind, right? He's like, oh yeah, I get the knock up here on an Owner, but no, it's Sejuani. She just dashes into you, and it makes the Jarvan look so silly.
Sometimes you get these replays with the slowdowns where it shows the outplay. But in real time, that happens so fast. While you're trying to make that engage, you're looking for your flash angle, and the kick just comes through, and you're like, that ruined everything I had pre-planned in my mind.
Yeah,
I mean, the reaction time from Keria, how swift he is on it.
It's also like, you know, we've seen a lot of Lee Sins, Skarner, and Lee Sins nowadays know exactly not to go straight into the Skarner because you can get impaled and punished, and you don't get to dash around a million times. But how many times has Lucid played into Sejuani nowadays that he knows that, okay, the second I go in with a flag...
Ja, ich benutze gerade einfach Light Hack, right?
You know, is pretty fast.
Arctic assaulted to
Yeah,
the face.
if you get Arctic assaulted, you just die.
Hat auch kaum Kalorien, meine ich. Ich glaube, es hat auch 100, 110 oder sowas auf 100 Gramm.
Guard.
Wenn ich mich nicht irre.
Now we have a collector here for Smash.
Müsste so um die, ich glaube, 108 sind es, glaube ich.
It's like, in a way, the
Oder irgendwie sowas.
to Jarvan when you see the interaction, but I mean, Owner has
130, ja, irgendwie sowas. So 100, 110, 130 habe ich im Kopf.
not really, but
Macht Lucian mir mal hinein? Ich weiß nicht, ob der Olaf carryen kann.
Really does.
I'm actually really curious now
I'm
because
gonna guess 30, 36. It's gonna be the number I guess.
I will look it up. It will take me a moment, but I will get it.
Yeah, I think as well when you're Jarvan, if you lock down a Sejuani.
It's his 4th most played 70 games.
Oh, I was like not even close. Wow.
I mean, that includes international games.
Yeah, well,
across his career.
yeah.
Der Draft auf T1 eigentlich niemals gewinnen, weil die haben auf Bot einen sehr fetten Lead rausgeholt, ne?
His top 3 are Xin at 98, Lee Sin 88, and Vi at 78. So I guess he's 2 ahead of where he's supposed to be on Sejuani. He's supposed to be at 68 of those.
Yeah.
Well, this game is back in T1's control after some good play from Keria and Owner there around that Jarvan engage. Smash, 1,400 gold behind. Didn't get his role quest as quickly.
Uh-oh.
Another kick from Keria.
Yeah, just one kick. Okay, there's going
Holy
to be some
fuck, man, das Shielding mit Barrier und mit dem Emilio.
from Pays. And so he takes some damage, but he's got Emilio.
Owner has ult, so they really need to be careful too, because they might just be able to get a flash on a flyby.
Wow, Team Botline. Was?
King bot here. I guess they want to dive Doran, but it's a little bit.
Split Map, nah.
Okay, if they don't get him, because they're still getting plates, and they're trying to win this race for first turret. I think they know that trying to fight for this Herald is not really going to happen. They can't get access to the pit because of the mid-prio here for Pays and Keria. And
Den Hate watchen wir T1, aber
was
die gerade spielt, I mean, das ist sehr solid gespielt, right? Honestly, sehr guter Cross. Also Margredanisch super Crossmap von DK. Das war super.
Or save the game for them. Actually, it's a slight gold lead for a moment here.
100 gold.
But like, I think that was the best play they could have made. That's what I'm talking about on grabbing that flash. Owner just setting it up. He's done this at least 78 times.
Yeah, very experienced. I wonder how many games of Rel he has, actually, because, you know, there was
16.
a meta. 16. And then eventually she, of course, did get nerfed to Oblivion, in the jungle at least. And so wasn't playable there anymore. But was very meta dominant for a while. And he had that big play at Worlds, I think.
Yeah.
On the Rel. Flash over engage.
Well, that's a flashless Caitlyn now. So D Plus made the call to say, look, we're never going to get that Herald. Let's see if we can get as much value as a Herald might get on the bottom side. Way less valuable turret than the mid turret that's likely to go over to T1 because they got the Herald. But after losing the flash of Smash afterwards too, it just feels so bad right now. If you are D Plus, T1 have so much control. We're getting to a point to where this 2-item Lucian isn't necessarily at his strongest. He isn't just going to be getting freebies. Speaking of freebies,
this time Owner does not interrupt it, and he was on vision. Should have known that Lucian was nearby. Tries to flash the Cataclysm, gets away.
Wie viel macht die Java noch hier in den Fight aus, das ist die Frage.
Doesn't look that strong. What happened in bot lane, by the way, guys? The both of them are just zoned away by one guy. And this Infernal Drake is up and available. Rift Herald going to be spawned.
Combat
Also dieser Objective Standoff wie Hawk and Play, alle gechunkt schon.
Prio for the Dragon.
Somebody to go over. That's a missed ult here from Owner as the Mikhails comes out
Okay.
anyway.
She was base jetzt ist playable. Jetzt ist sehr playable.
Did its job. Getting the Mikhails.
They took a lot of damage actually trying to set that up, and it got a charge, the Herald did, but didn't get the turret
Spielen
yet.
so fucking weird.
Smash comes back into position to defend that. Shiu also in position, but he doesn't like it. As it looks like the Dragon is going to go over to D+ here to set us up for a 1-1 split here very late in the
Ich frage mich eher, hätten die da jemanden killen können, wenn die Ulti getroffen hätte, also... War ja schon sehr unterm Turret, ne?
They're not falling over, they're not falling apart. And yes, this Lucian is very, very large, but the Olaf is still a problem.
Nach der Series hier, wenn das zeitlich reicht, schauen wir aus, also müsste passen, schauen wir noch Animals Legend gegen WE. Da ist gerade, aber gerade erstmal Game 2, also es läuft gerade Game 2 IG, NIP.
I think it was the right call to not try to fight Dragon there with the lack of control they had, because if they fight,
Ja, Pace ist sehr gut, also.
lose the fight,
Na?
then suddenly D+
Pace ist sehr. Lucian Ulti war raus, genau, das habe ich mir auch gedacht, ne? Also, die Ulti war ein bisschen random. Und ja, Pace ist sehr, 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 sehr gut. Also, ich glaube, das ist ein Fair Case für bessere AD Carry momentan. Ich glaube, da kann niemand wieder wirklich was sagen.
We could just do this, but I think they're actually showing a good amount of respect today.
Yeah, after that Faker play in game 1, they're taking a small hiatus.
Yeah, they're like, you know, DK are a really good team. I hear that they're the best team on planet Earth. And yeah, they certainly came very well prepared for D+ Kia today. And I feel like so far Paze is leading currently in terms of...
Ja, morgen außerdem BLG gegen Top Esports. Mit welchem Toplaner? Keine Ahnung. Noch nirgendwo announced. Keine Ahnung.
Basically kind of actionless. There hasn't been a huge amount of action outside of the bottom lane.
That was a Giga Scryer, by the way. 3 wards found and cleared in that swift moment there. Actually, a lot of value for Keria as he sets that one up. He is the support. He has got the idea of where those wards will be. Obviously, 2 of those extremely obvious.
Ganz fotzige Grüße, ey.
I guess he's okay.
Ebenso.
Very fast.
You never know. You never know.
Like, she was going to just pick up that axe and flash on him, and we're like, oh, okay, here we go. But I think Doran was just a little bit too fast in that moment.
We always get the Baron zoom in when T1 is playing, because they like to follow along and go right there at 20 minutes, but not in this game state. It's not the same lead they had in game 1. Yeah, he is constantly threatening this rundown. He's going to get this ward, though, and Doran will respect and even be able to potentially poke him. Potentially.
Yes. He's got potential.
Yeah, you're going to say he's a man of potent.
Darf man im Voraus sagen, wenn man eine Partnerschaft wieder hat?
But not if the Olaf is in melee range. So he likes to do the poking. He likes to stay away from the Olaf. That's a little poke right there.
Stimmt, ne? Also,
I mean, the thing about this game is that we're just kind of
ich sag mal so, wenn ihr am Überlegen seid, eine neue Matratze zu kaufen oder ein Kissen braucht, dann wartet vielleicht noch. Ich kenne da eine nette Dame, die heißt Emma. Die ist richtig toll. Also wartet, actually.
In a horrible state. Like, it's a trough of, it's the normal Caitlyn trough, but it's in a trough within itself because it's so far behind just in general of this Lucian. And they need to, I think, because right now you've got to get out of that, and then your Jarvan engage with the set damage. Okay,
Die Stellvorlage war keine Absicht. Ja, ich hab's mir gedacht, aber es hat halt zu gut reingepasst.
Yeah.
Potential poke.
Still has his flash.
Gets the turret, so that's big.
Yeah. As they're going to find someone, it is going to be Lucid on Bush. And he does actually get the nice fat flash over the wall.
Showmaker.
Wie lange muss ich noch warten? Bis zum 1. September. Was hältst du von Sejuani her? Abstand. Weiß nicht, warum sie es gepickt haben.
I mean, it wasn't a cross map per se because it was just a 1v1 there on the top side, but they strike back in a big way after losing that turret.
Mit dem Code eines anderen abgekauft.
Ja,
okay.
Big spike for him, and part of the reason why he's down a whole item because that one's really expensive. But if he can get to 3 items, and Showmaker...
Habt ihr euch im Bett kennengelernt, und diese Emma? Kann man auch deine Matratze nehmen? Nein.
Jarvan setup with this Lux pick really is...
Oh, ob sie mir den Call jetzt hingebracht hat? Ich glaube, der ging die ganze Zeit, by the way. Meiner. Also, unironically, oder er geht die ganze Zeit.
Did you hit your ult or did you not? Yeah. Otherwise, you just... With 80 carries getting buffed with role quests, like they just do so much damage.
Oh, alles gut.
Have been defined in their careers by whether or not they have hit that.
Yeah, that's true.
By the way, like that's how binary the Sejuani.
But other junglers are still relevant because they can do things when they go in, whereas the Sejuani is like, all right,
tanky.
But with 80 carries being this strong in this meta, that you just kind of get focused down and killed so quickly as the Sejuani. So I think Owner's relevance will fall off a little bit later on. So they are going to try to take.
So, ich ficke auch nicht, aber ich schlafe trotzdem gerne auf einer guten Matratze und in einem guten Bett.
Any control over that area right now?
Don't get me wrong.
It's a possibility, but they're so far away.
They know now, but I think it's a little too late. And Paze is here. He's kind of playing gatekeeper. These 3 members are doing the Baron so quickly, but Lucid gets here just barely not on.
So eine Kotze, Mann.
It's a T1 Baron.
Erkennt kann mein Lieblingsarg werden? Ja, ist ja auch, also voll fair.
But at the end of the day, with Paze not there and the Drake about to come up, DK kind of pulled out of position and they get fooled.
Yeah. And they wanted to try to turn that delay of the backs.
Ich finde Pacing bisher insane. Bei Eckert passiert halt auch die ganze Zeit was, ne?
Dragon, but it pales in comparison to value to what T1 get in exchange here. His W is up now for Doran. He's just going to start chunking through this turret. Has a big wave coming through. Paze has this huge cannon minion now pushing the mid turret. And T1 almost even considered to try to get a punish on those dragon-taking members of D+. They're not able to get there fast enough to get either of them. Well, okay, won't be able to get either of them. Lucid does get away here. And T1, they also know that
Game ist immer noch winnable, right? Aber dieser Lucian ist ein Problem und jetzt langsam ist der Jace auch leider ein Problem. So dumm, wie es sich anhört.
Circus, possible?
Trying to catch Faker here. And there's no knock-up, so he just gets away. Does more damage to them.
Guck mal, Backstory, ich hab beim Manga-Lesen geheult und dann im Anime auch geheult. So krank. Ist wahrscheinlich meine favorite Backstory.
And once he hits that, scaling be damned, like this Lucian will just one-shot.
Lass mich drüber nachdenken.
Hold your hands together.
Yeah, it is really scary.
And lest you
Doch, ist meine favorite Backstory. Doch.
Is on the other side of the stage against you, but
and some Lucians they like to go rapid fire cannon for just the Giga range like double tap, but
guck mal, Robin, ja, gibt ja, also wir spoilern jetzt nicht. Right? Wir spoilern jetzt nicht.
With the Jace as well as this tanky rise with the Sejuani, so
yeah.
This one isn't going to be his favorite culling he's had this game, but it's going to help clear out the wave, and the siege continues.
Note, danke für den 15.
Able to wrap around here and actually get access to try to go for a pinch. They just keep pushing. Mikhail's is good.
Yeah, Mikhail's also very good.
Sondern die Pancakes testen. Oh, die habe ich noch nicht probiert, also auch da Feedback. Wow, er macht so viel Damage, Bro. Also ich bin mir außerdem inzwischen zu 85% sicher, Olaf ist einfach straight up OP. Also, wenn das Einzige, was du bannen musst, sagen wir mal, Vayne und dann... Was musst du noch bannen? Vayne auf jeden Fall mal. Dann ist, also, nah, ja, aber auch nah ist playable. Also, Vayne und, sagen wir mal, Vayne und nah, wenn du nur die beiden bannen musst und dann ist Olaf blind in der Theorie einfach fein, ist crazy.
Does not care.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he goes in there with the hammer down because, like, it's Olaf.
It almost felt like the command came down from Faker. He was like, I need you to control mid. And Doran's like, all right. Guess I'll go.
Yeah, because, I mean, obviously, if, Olaf's already that close to you, you kind of have to commit to a trade if you want to trade, but... if you usually just don't want to flash early, that is.
You usually just don't want to be in that range with Olaf. So when you go into it,
the fact that he was close enough to even do that is.
Olaf says, I accept your challenge.
Oh, you want to fight? Cool. I'm so down.
Well, no death dance for Xiu, but he is getting stronger, and that is the point where even against 4-item Lucian, if Smash is able to layer just a little bit of damage onto these characters.
Yeah, unconfirmed rumors floating around Weibo that Bin was spotted back at BLG's base in Shanghai.
Despite a deficit, but all depends on Paze's positioning, if Xiu can get access.
Bin hasn't touched solo key formers a month now. Ja, lass die mal machen. Ja, lass die mal machen. Einfach nicht Knights Karriere ficken, ihr Loser. Einfach mal spielen.
And there's no one that can stop you in this draft from actually making that happen. You just have to stay far away. And you need to be ahead enough to where that's not a factor, as that IE is done.
Doran's so scared that he's like missing cannons and staying well behind his turret. Because he just knows that Xiu, especially after that last kill.
Boah, du kannst schon, also, ich weiß, es kommt halt auch drauf an, ne? Du musst halt, kannst ja immer wieder reinschauen ins Normale und gucken, wie du das Pacing findest, right? Wenn es dir wirklich zu langsam ist. Was damit bin, oh, ganz viele Gerüchte so zwischen Low-Key Richtung Burnout oder halt einfach Fatigue. Junge, wie OP ist dieser Lucian? What the fuck?
Barely lived to tell the tale.
I mean, this might be the opening up of the base. They're not going to commit further, but this is the exact type of thing we talk about with T1. We talked about it in game 1. Like, Luza's like, I'll mess around with the Sejuani. I'm like, yeah, that's the whole team, though. They're going to be right there. They're on you, man. They got Blast Cone. They saw all the angles. Like, T1 is watching this going, look at this.
So insane, weil dieses Matchup auf Bottom ist losing. Also es ist de facto losing, aber die werden halt 2v2 killt. Das ist so schlimm.
He just instantly ults him, Arctic assaults him, and guess what? Paze just teleports from a mile away and bursts him down with his...
Wie viel Damage, Mann.
It's just that simple.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Aber bleibt dann Folge pro Folge, ja.
You as well.
Ich finde halt, also ich finde persönlich One Piece Manga nochmal ein gutes Stück besser als Anime.
Dragon. T1 not really over.
Ich schaue beispielsweise, also okay, ich bin also auch ein paar Folgen und auch Chapter Behind. Ich schaue zum Beispiel, okay, jetzt momentan schaue ich echt alles, weil halt nur eine Folge brauchen, die up-to-date bin und so und Spacing okay ist, aber davor war es halt so, okay, ich schaue halt nur die Folgen, bei denen ich weiß, es werden Banger. Weil ich halt weiß schon, was passiert durch Manga, right?
They're like, yeah, well, I'm gonna blast cone from a million miles away. I'm going to outnumber you very quickly because we have map control, we have vision.
I'm just glad the Mega Blast Cones are being used for good rather
Yeah.
than evil.
Well, in your case, that means just not using them at all, right?
Yeah, it's true. I wanted to try a different, you know,
This
different
throwback
angle.
never gets old. Except I think probably 90% of the people watching have no idea.
Als ewig dauert der Manga, ja. Also, Dressrosa ist schon.
Oh, the small misplay.
Set a new episode.
Dressrosa, Whole Cake Island. Das ist schon.
We had a lot of fun.
Ich glaube, das killt halt viele, vor allem Anime-Onlys. Hat es, glaube ich, richtig gekillt, als das jede Woche kam.
He's really just
In den Supermarkt rauchen, ja.
eyes
Peak.
maxing very well in this game, which is you sit in the side lane and farm and do nothing else.
Sometimes run away.
Yeah, you
Dass
roam
diese
hard,
Insel überflutet wurde.
They're just gonna
go
do this
in,
Baron,
they
by the
go
way.
out.
3
Was?
item smash,
Bis diese Insel überflutet wurde.
but they just
Du meinst nicht Enis Lobby, oder?
actually break through or get an Olaf into position because she was not. He
Ah, doch, Water 7. Ah, doch.
didn't really have a good TP angle, but with
Es ist gar nichts passiert über Monate 100%. Deswegen Manga war halt da immer mein Way to go.
T1 are playing
Oder ist mein Way to go bei One Piece einfach.
not to lose, not to take fair fight.
War nur, nee.
Olaf running down, but to constantly have
Aqua Laguna, boah, das ist
for
Junge.
teams that are really tough for D+ to fight it, just like their previous Baron, where they're like, okay, I'm gonna sneak this. I'm not taking a 5v5. I'm just gonna get this Baron, and then too bad for you.
There are 4 people over that wall, by the way, Owner. He is going to flash away. Scout of the Week goes wide, and Paze is the boss.
Also, was willst du was willst du gegen den Lucian Mann? Ich check das nicht.
Have to just run away till top.
Wie OP ist der Typ?
Was the biggest opponent of D+ on that play. They couldn't actually really close the gap there. Everyone was on the other side, but
Okay, Shibu.
way more damage over it. Now Shio's looking for his angle.
Es ist Hunting Nash.
Time.
No, I don't know, man. They have way too much damage. He's going to try anyway, and he's just going in by himself, trying to take out Paze.
Stop.
Nash gestoppt, aber was ist das?
Look at what happens when he goes in 1v5. What happens when
Gibt es nochmal eins so gute Animes? Gut bei ja. Mushoku Tensei ist nice. Ich weiß, es bisher ist sehr critically acclaimed, aber
you are not gonna have a good time.
entweder man kann drüber stehen oder halt nicht.
When he turns towards
Smoking by the Supermarket sage ich einmal am Tag gefühlt. ReZero ist Banger, geht nächste Woche weiter, Part 2 von Season 4.
down, doesn't have his ult, but it will be up when he respawns. So maybe T1 have a small window here to like, try again.
Yeah, 30 seconds until he gets up, and then the TP timer as well. Lucid is right over the wall, though, so that's the one thing you got to be careful of. Looks like they might just go for the flip. As they were
getting
5K.
it, but
Ohne
actually
wird gekocht.
pull
Ja.
off of the
Gut
Baron.
gecancelt.
As you know, I'm not Ox, I'm not the expert, but I'm pretty sure that Baron is the hunting
It
Baron,
is the
and
hunting
it does a lot of damage.
It does do a lot of damage. Also,
Rerennen aber ist ja nicht von dieser Season.
taking a lot of damage from Showmaker, from Career over the wall. And Shio's back alive now. Did have TP, so if they had slowed it down, it could have been disastrous. Shio's like, 1v5? I take these.
Bring it on.
Look at him, just, Paze is like, get him away from me!
Die Sache ist, der hat den halt literally 1 gegen 5 auf halbe Spielrunde genannt, ne?
Protect me.
Alright, Smash starting to do some damage.
Ja, Witch in Mongolia soll ganz geil sein, aber da bin ich noch nicht da. Kagurabachi wurde mir gesagt, dass es sehr gut sein soll, also werden soll. Aber ist ja erst nächstes Jahr, glaube ich, ne?
Still have a Caitlyn that has 3.5, so still going to do some big damage. We have effectively gotten out of the trough, although he definitely needs some attack speed. He's getting there.
Also das Dicke sollte diesen Drake einfach geben. Die brauchen Rapid Fire. Die brauchen definitiv einen Rapid Fire auf Smash noch.
Cannot secure Baron, but have threatened it several times. They're just forcing D+ in these uncomfortable spots, and eventually, either D+ will get the punish, or, you know, T1 will actually be able to find a window where there's no Ragnarok, or they don't have any teammates coming over. Maybe they focus Shiu down, and they can do the Baron. Because both teams are getting stronger and stronger, but T1's, I think their influence
Warum schon wieder Mord statt LDA?
control this map is getting tougher and tougher.
Well, in dem Fall... Wow. Wow, der Typ ist krank. What the fuck? I mean, there's a fucking... No joke, there's a fucking alien. Das ist wirklich krank.
As we have a TP here to hold the wave. And I don't think this TP is going to leave Shiu with a whole lot.
They have minions. No, they got 2. Yeah, they have 2 minions.
Yeah, I don't know.
Let's see if Lucid with GA can snipe them.
Owner can just tank it. I mean, Lucid's going to have to try. Otherwise, the game ends, right? So there he goes. He goes in. Doesn't
Ein Minion.
But it is going to go in.
Oh, sie können finishen.
As they'll take the kill on a Lucid instead. And Shiu's done a good job of holding the wave here. So the game will not end right now.
Okay. Got that mid inhibitor, and Showmaker has TP on respawn. There's no enemy jungler. Try to 5v1 and Olaf. He is
Crazy.
looking. Doesn't have his TP anymore because he used it on that wave. I don't think he's going to go in. They have no
started Baron.
Oh, ist wieder tot. Bye-bye, Career. Oder? Auf wen gehen die? Oh.
The engaged cone career is so dead. There's nowhere for him to go. Celestial opposition not going to help.
Oh.
He goes in, takes an insane amount of damage from Showmaker. And that'll be the
Syndra-Champion?
And now Shiu's going in on a Faker, taking the 1v1. Faker trying to just run out this one onto the blast cone, gets away. And they do pick up the Baron as well.
Okay, Pays, you know, on that last play, he turned Lucian into Jhin, except it was a Jhin that did damage. That was crazy. He was a sniper
Jay fertig.
for that flash play. I hope we get to see it again. I think this is going to be it right here. Watch this. Gets the W, calls him. Watch this. Oh, you're on another planet? Is that Earth, the place where you're the best team of? I don't think so. You're in the death chamber.
Yeah.
He shot him from so far away, flashed on him. Auto flew 10 kilometers.
Yeah.
As then here he just runs on the career, but tries to go on to Showmaker on this follow-up. Boom.
Syndra-Damage ist so krank.
That's all you need. And
Der
now
tot?
they're taking the dragon. Lucid's dead. Doran's like, what? You haven't fought me today, have you? Ult comes in and at least gets him, but it's a 2-for-1 in favor of Doran.
Wie ist Lucid Level 15?
Set up a push here.
The main thing that Plus were able to do during the backs post-Baron was to clear that mid-wave, so it's pushed back pretty far. So
Rockstar 2018 wird niemals getoppt.
where Olaf is right now on the minimap when this happens. This is actually just comedy.
The damage.
Nice try. And then Showmaker's like, oh yeah, I didn't even hit my scatter, but watch this. That's actually crazy. It's actually like, is that okay? Is that allowed? I think T1 still, though, now that this wave is cleared, have too much siege. It should be able to end.
She was trying to catch
Alter.
the wave, but we got a Realm Warp in as well from bot lane. And they're just going to try to end the game here. Career doesn't have the wave clear. Shiu's going to press his buttons one last time, and he takes out the Melio. And who cares? That's going to be a root onto Owner.
Ja, also Bot so geknallt werden ist, also fair and square, was willst du machen?
They will end this series 2-0.
Also was der da auf Bot abzieht, ist, by the way, nicht normal.
Team on Earth, and T1 will humble them tonight.
T1 reminding D+ and perhaps more than D+, CV Max.
Aber wirklich, was der da auf Bot abgezogen hat, das ist krank.
That one that
Alien.
D+ have on